Now, right off the bat, you're probably wondering why does the lighting look brighter in this one? That's because I'm actually recording this today, early in the morning. Usually I record these a day before or the night before. But it's 8 a.m. right now. You guys should hopefully be seeing this sometime around 12 New York Standard Time. But yes, let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yes, no introduction, no nothing. We're going to go straight into it. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video.
I just finished reading Thriller.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're starting with somebody named C. I don't think we've done you before. So let's go ahead and start.
I want to talk about it. Just a little.
Oh, you have green hair. Hi. That's the first thing I noticed. Nice. Okay, you have green hair. Did you speed this up? This is going to be a little hard to understand if you speed it up.
I just finished reading Thriller Bark, and I want to talk about it. Just a little disclaimer, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I have finished the anime. Once I finished the anime, I caught up on the manga chapters from there. But I have not read the manga.
So are you a book talk girly? That's the prerequisite. You got to be a book talk girly. Okay, so I see you've read some book talk. Okay, cool. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware, today, if you're watching this video today, later down today, around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. PST, we will be but we will be interviewing Abby. She's another one of the book talk girlies who is doing these, One Piece journey stuff. And yeah, so that'll be fun. We'll do that probably for about an hour. And then we will also watch the Game Awards tonight. That is also happening tonight. But yes, let's go ahead and get started into this though.
That's what the series is, a retrospective going from the start. Now that being said, another disclaimer. This series is going to have spoilers, all the spoilers. Not just spoilers up until Thriller Bark, but spoilers for the whole series. So if that's not for you, that's okay. Keep scrolling. Love you anyways. Mwah. But if that sounds like a good time, then go ahead and give me a like, give me a follow, come along on this journey with me. Okay,
you talk really
let's
fast.
just get into it. So first we have this panel where Robin's like, could it be that touching ghosts makes a person depressed? And then Zora's like, give me a break. I don't know if you guys are pathetic. Because you don't have discipline and willpower, these strange ghosts can make a fool out of you. And this just reminds me of when people who have never experienced clinical depression or anxiety tell
He said, I'm sorry I was born.
you to just, not be depressed or anxious anymore. That definitely works. So then we have this scene with Nami and zombie Lola. And Lola says, no one has ever encouraged this love of mine. You're the first person to offer me up such kind words. And that little line is so sad when you take into consideration her backstory. Like, yeah. The joke is that she's relentlessly pursuing men, right? But she was forced to leave her home and her family because she was made to choose between being able to find her own love and being forced into a political marriage. No one has ever supported her desire to love and be loved on her own terms until she meets Nami. I can't find the screenshot I took of it, but I do love the way that Usopp's negativity ends up saving the group, right? When Perona's little ghosties try to make him all depressed and stop him from being able to fight back.
I forgot that that's the thing Perona can do. Her little ghost can make people depressed. I keep forgetting that that's an actual thing she can do.
But Usopp is already depressed. He's used to fighting through it. Oda just adds all these little moments that reinforce Usopp's less desirable qualities as being extremely beneficial to the group. He stumbles into success just by being himself. And then I couldn't help but think as we saw Oars Luffy, wandering around, smashing shit and being like, I'm gonna be king of the pirates, that this is what the fandom version of Luffy looks like, right? The version of him that doesn't actually care about anything or anyone except having a great adventure and being the pirate king. So Luffy sans any nuance. So then we have the fight between Absalom and Sanji, and it starts with Sanji doing some king shit, right? We have this panel where Absalom goes, I'm busy right now, my most powerful underlings seem to have been crushed by your Captain Zombie. I need to kiss the bride before I go and take care of it. Do you understand? I'm really annoyed right now. I don't have time to deal with weaklings like you. And then Sanji kicks him in the face. And Sanji literally stopping this man from assaulting women is king shit, all right? And then he goes on to say, you're the invisible beast who licked Robin back on the sunny, aren't you? And then continues to kick his ass. And then he looks at Nami and he goes, why is she unconscious right now? You better not have done anything nasty around her. Fucking nasty ass Absalom. But then that means we have to talk about this panel, which is after Sanji realizes that Absalom has eaten the clear fruit, which means that he can become invisible. And Sanji says, yeah, I know all about the clear fruit. I have always wanted to get the clear fruit. Oh, how I had dreamed of it. If I had that power, I'd go into women's changing rooms. And no, I thought about how much good I could do with it. I'd go into women's bathrooms and I could save so many lives with that power. His head is full of dreams about peeping on women. Shut up. Thanks to my years of daydreams and fantasy, I understand everything that could be accomplished with this power. Adding that to how much danger you put Nami in, I'll make you pay for it all. You better be prepared to die. And to me, all of this is just another example of the perv joke not making any sense in the context of the story. Sanji isn't jealous.
What do you mean it doesn't make any sense in the context of the story? You're turning invisible. I think you just I think you're like willfully being ignorant here. You can turn invisible. The whole point of turning invisible is so you cannot be seen. When you cannot be seen, you do things that people don't see. Anybody would commit a crime, including going places you shouldn't be. If you can't be seen, that's the whole point. If you can't be seen means lack of certain accountability. It's kind of the whole point.
In those previous panels, he is clearly upset that someone hurt his friends because he understands that the things Absalom did to Nami and Robin are in fact violations. There's nothing that indicates that Sanji doesn't understand the harm in using invisibility to commit assault.
The whole point is that Sanji wouldn't necessarily be better. He's just mad that it happened to his people, you know? If it's happening anywhere else, cool. It happened to his people. He wouldn't necessarily be better. You know, that's the whole point.
So then why the commitment to the peeping bit, if not for the joke? You know, if not so that Oda can draw the little zombie guys giving haha silly funny reactions. Like, why are we treating this like an annoying gag instead of a crime? There's a difference between, yeah, Uncle Billy creeps on girls,
and also, it's not a crime in the One Piece world, okay? It's not a crime, okay?
You know, that's just family for you. And we found out Uncle Billy was creeping on girls, so we beat his ass and then called the cops. And from the way that Oda writes Sanji's character, I'm getting the sense that he falls into the former category instead of the latter. And sure, there's totally a nuanced conversation to be had about men who white knight, but then are also creeps because they don't understand violations in boundaries and consent that don't exist in their most extreme forms. But you can't have that conversation and then also prop Sanji up as a hero in your story without diminishing your point. Which is a prime example of why I don't think that this is an intentional characterization to make a critique, and why a lot of times I just tune stuff like this out, you know, after I've read it, in terms of like how I'm characterizing something.
No. I think genuinely you just refuse to see what it is for what it is. No, that's not on the writing. That's on you.
Sanji in my mind. In my mind, this scene will always be Sanji beating the absolute fuck out of someone who tried to strip two women, his friends, of their dignity. So then we get to this awful moment of Hogback telling us about Sindri's backstory. He says, I boarded his ship on the condition that with his miraculous powers, he would revive Sindri. Sindri, I wish all the plates would disappear from this world. After digging up her corpse, I was able to easily acquire an obedient Sindri. I don't care about the personality of the woman who turned me down. As long as her body was still beautiful, that was all I needed. And that's how the zombie Sindri came to be. I was ecstatic. She must be too, because she was able to return to the world as a living human being. And this is so horrifying, right? I've seen it lamented before that women's bodies aren't safe even in death, right? And in fact, many cultures have specific death practices centered around protecting the bodies of women from being defiled by men after they've been deceased. The implication here is clear. If I couldn't have her in life, her body will belong to me in death. Earlier during my reading of this arc, I had toyed with the idea that Thriller Bark and the whole zombie plotline with Moria and Hogback is a bit of an allegory for human trafficking, and Sindri's backstory really just confirmed that for me. They use violence as
It's not. Are there some human trafficking elements? Sure, but it's not an allegory for it. How did this confirm it? Oh my gosh. There was somebody who commented. I don't know if I'll be able to find the comments. There was somebody who commented. When you're reading a story and you choose to implement real life scenarios and real life aspects to it, you can't be disingenuous about it. You got to continue that. So then Zoro having 3 swords is not very realistic. Okay, I need to see you critique that way. The human fruit that Chopper has is not very realistic. Critique that way too. Usopp being a coward while being on a crew with a bunch of brave people is not very realistic. You should critique that too. You should take everything to the utmost degree just the way you're doing it with this too. You shouldn't do it simply because this is something you feel closer to. But you don't, because at the end of the day, you use a suspense of disbelief. Because why? It's still a fantasy. At the end of the day, it's still this world. So you use this world logic. Why don't you use the same thing here too? Continue the honesty of the world. It's really that simple, man. It's really that simple. You have every right to be weirded out by it. Of course. That's your agency. You have every right to be weirded out by it, to be disturbed by it, to not like it. Absolutely. But to simply choose to not read it for what it's not is just you defeat the purpose of a fantasy, you know? But hey man.
Absalom and the generals, along with emotional manipulation, right, Perona's negative hollow powers, to capture them, tie them up, and forcibly steal their shadows, a violating process that puts them in a position of subservience. Their body...
She's not alive. The whole I'm not even going to try to defend, okay? I'm not even going to try to defend. And don't mess with dead people. That's my whole thing. Like, don't. If you've ever watched any of my other videos, you clearly understand I don't care about it. Don't mess with dead people. Anyways, he couldn't have her in life. That's the whole quote he says. I can't have her in life. So in death, her body will be mine. The whole point is that he is so obsessed with her that he really, 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 really wants her. That's the whole point. Okay. It's not against the law in the land of Thriller Bark. He is not doing anything illegal. Is it disturbing? Absolutely. It's very disturbing, honestly. It's quite gruesome. But stop holding these people to real life standards. I don't know why people do that.
These are then used for labor, for protection, for whatever use the person who has control of their shadows has of them. And when they strip a person of their shadow, the hollowed out version is left to wander in darkness or face death in the light. It is a very depressing reality to have your body and your personhood stolen out from underneath you. And then we have this panel.
Well, it's not stolen out from underneath you. You're not there. It's not yours anymore. Okay. Actually, that's a very good philosophical question, actually. In death, does something still belong to you? That's a very good philosophical question. Yeah. Because even your wife isn't yours anymore in death, because, it's called till death do us apart. It's not even yours anymore in death, right? In death, does something still belong to you? I don't think so. Because that's the reason we have inheritance. No, but inheritance is passing down. Never mind. No, I don't think things still belong to you in death. No, I don't think so. So I guess that would also apply to your body too, huh? That's a very good philosophical question. I never thought about that. Good question.
Which all I have to say is not so fun when someone you don't want to kiss tries to force themselves on you. Now is it, Absalom? Okay, so there is one last thing I want to talk about, and it's Brooke's character design. So dandyism is both a style and an ideology. It's a counterculture that stood in contrast to the aristocracies of the past, which were much more ostentatious and flamboyant. It emphasized sharp tailoring, clean grooming, but also self-expression. Black dandyism is a specific form of dandyism that took root in black communities and came to prominence during the 1920s, during the time of the Harlem Renaissance. In a world that didn't respect black people, didn't see them as valuable, as important, this aesthetic was a way to reclaim their dignity. So what were some of the visual elements of black dandyism? Precise and intricate detailing, patterns that are striking, and colors that are bright and eye-catching, accessories that serve both function and just look really cool, like bags and sunglasses and pocket squares and hats. It also pulls inspiration from a variety of black cultures, such as cultures in Africa and as well as Caribbean cultures. I am almost positive Brooke himself is actually meant to be a reference to Jimi Hendrix, which makes sense because of the whole Soul King being a rock star thing, right? But the two things aren't mutually exclusive, and I think Brooke definitely embodies the ideals of a dandy man. Okay, that's it for Thriller Bark, an arc where notoriously nothing happened, and I will not be talking about the nothing that happened.
Yeah, well, nothing happened. You're right. Absolutely nothing happened. Nice to see you, C. Now, why did I did that? What? I'm very confused. What's she talking about? Oh, I thought she was crying. She's laughing. Okay. Okay. It would be nice to tell us what's so funny, Becky.
Hey guys, I was like,
okay.
Amber's been like nagging me to read. Not nagging.
Who's
She's
Amber?
my buddy read partner. I shouldn't say that.
Oh,
but,
I remember Amber. She does want these.
We're supposed to be reading this, and she's almost done, and I'm like this much through. So I thought,
right.
You know what? I'm gonna go on a live, and I'm just gonna sit there and read. And so I went on live, and then people started joining. People started joining, and I didn't know what to do, so I was just staring at my book. I wasn't even reading my book because I was just like so nervous. And then I was like looking up at the camera, and people are like in my life. And then I just left. Oh my god.
No, that's. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny. That's why would you waste people's time like that? It's not funny. It's not.
The only thing I want under my Christmas tree this year is a cutie pie like you.
I don't know if to be raised up or to cringe. Anyways, that's the video you had to see.
There are things that matter more than power.
Now, I actually do not know if we read this part already. Not read this part, but watched this part already. But we're going to go ahead and do it just in case.
Luffy D Monkey dropping some bars.
Luffy D Monkey. Because, wait, his first name is Luffy, isn't it? Oh, that's so strange. Okay, all right.
In the second half of Drum Island. Let's talk about it. Oda did not come to play around on his thoughts on leadership in the second half of this arc. I feel like every second sentence, I was like, jot that down, which I did. I adored the commentary on leadership, on power, on responsibility, on justice in the second half of this arc. It was just boom, 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 boom. I feel like every single line felt like it hit me in the chest. It's so profound. And Oda was really cooking, you guys. When Chopper realized that he accidentally poisoned Dr. Quack / Hurlik, and the way that Hurlik knew that and really martyred himself for the sake of justice and to further his mission was so powerful and so tragic. And once again, my poor baby Chopper has just been going through the ringer. He stays going through the ringer. When does a man die? When he's forgotten. And that's not the first time that I've heard this phrase. It's a common thing. I feel like that comes up in a lot of literature and a lot of media, a lot of commentary about
really? Where else have you
large
heard it?
political movements. But I love how Hurlik really embodied that he knew that he was going to die. And I loved the theme of revolution in this. I mean, it's obviously extremely apt for what is going on in the world. I really loved seeing more of Dalton's backstory of how he came to really draw the line with Walpole, and it was when Walpole tried to get Dalton to execute Dr. Quack, and he refused because he knew in his gut that something was wrong, and he had known it for ages. Once again, what a commentary on a dictator, on poor leadership, is a man who's too weak to actually do anything himself. He tries to use everybody as a tool, and I feel like Dalton was sick of being Walpole's tool, and I loved seeing that play out. We learned that when Walpole left Drum Island, he also took the resources with him. He took the doctors with him and left the people to suffer and to have all of their resources, all of their potential for any sort of upward mobility snatched away. And once again, what a commentary on what a poor leader does, on what a dictatorship looks like. Chopper trying to reason with Walpole after everything Chopper's gone through was so moving to me, was so meaningful, and once again just speaks to what I interpret as Oda's belief that inherently we lean towards good. And that's what I'm seeing throughout this, that they are villains. And I know people have dropped some hints, maybe a couple spoilers. Please don't do that if you can avoid it. But that there's often more to the story than we see. And even people who initially seem evil, seem villainous, they didn't start out that way. That we all have a little nugget of good inside of us. And I love seeing
I got a question I want to ask you guys after
Oda
this.
represent that in the stories. What's so wrong with wanting your country to have a heart? And once again, I'm just struck by the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, this is over 20 years old. We are in the same situation. I found myself questioning that very, very, very frequently, multiple times a day, of what is so wrong about wanting us to be good to those who need us. And it gives me chills. I loved when Luffy called Chopper his friend, and to my knowledge, that Luffy is the first person or first creature to ever call Chopper his friend. Dr. Hurlik obviously called him his son, but Luffy is his first friend. And Luffy's goodness and his open-heartedness once again changes everything. And now Chopper is part of the crew, and I cannot wait. The ending when Dr. Hurlik left the cherry blossom cure to Dr. Correa, and it seems like I couldn't really tell. My understanding was that the cherry blossom cure was not medicine in as much as it was a morale lifter, that he knew it was beautiful and that it would lift the spirits of the people, that it was a sickness of the heart more than a sickness of the body. And whether that's correct or not, please let me know if you can. But that is how I interpreted it, and I love that. So we finally see Goldie Roger is actually Gold Roger, and what does Dr. Correa know? What is waiting?
I think she meant it backwards. Gold Roger is actually Goldie Roger.
On Alabasta for the Straw Hats. And then there was a mysterious pirate who was like, tell them to meet me on Alabasta. Is that Gold Roger? Although I think you guys told me he's dead. I didn't take notes of that part. I'm
Andi? Andy, this is adorable. This is adorable. I feel like the first thing we find out is that the former king of the pirates who died left his treasure for people to claim it. The One Piece. And whoever claims it will be the next king of the pirates. No, you know.
Get to look it up. So I don't know if he's alive, but in any case, I want to know who this mysterious pirate is.
Actually, is it so far out of the realm of belief to think that Roger is still alive? You could say he faked his death. Okay. I guess I could see the logic.
Calling Chopper an emergency food supply is so on brand. And now I understand the comments that some of you left on my other videos. I thought you were saying you wanted to eat Chopper, and I was not down for that.
Chopper, an emergency food supply. I like that.
We finally meet Mr. 2, a creepy mime. Oh my gosh. Like, I love these villains because they are so imaginative and so weird and quirky. And I believe his name is Bon Clay. Let me check my notes. Yes. What is Oh Come My Way? I feel like I'm going to find out soon, and I am scared to find out. And then we see that Sir Crocodile and Miss All Sunday are on Alabaster, or about to be on Alabaster, waiting for the Straw Hats. It's about to go down in Alabaster, you guys.
Andy, I love you. We got to listen to more of Andy's stuff. This is really good. Okay, so I did say I was going to ask you guys a question at the end of this. This is more of a philosophical question I wanted to pose to you guys to see how you guys think, to properly understand you guys. You guys know me as somebody who's very happy and hopeful, right? This philosophy I'm about to pose to you is probably other than that. Are people inherently good or evil? I think people are inherently evil. Or at least, I think they are inherently selfish. And I would like to see if people could argue against that or prove me wrong. But let me go more into detail. I think people are inherently evil/selfish due to the fact that we don't care about people so long as it doesn't affect us. We only care about what matters to us. And you may say, well, that wouldn't be true because we do charity. No. Realistically, we only do charity because, one, it makes us look good. And two, we care. I say that with quotations. Humans are intrinsically selfish, okay? You're born with three distinct, this is an oversimplification, by the way. You're born with three distinct instincts, okay? Three distinct, like, basic functions in your head. And that is whenever you see things, right? That's the reason why you make shapes and clouds. When you see something, can I eat it? Can I reproduce with it? And will it kill me? It helps you survive. Those things are then obviously expanded. Like I said, it's a generalization. Those things are obviously then expanded into reality. And you realize that in life, you need to survive. And in order for you to survive, you have to be more than just you. You have to include other people to help you survive. That's how society is formed. And to live in such society, you have to realize that your narcissism, which is necessary for your survival, by the way, your narcissism has to be suspended to an extent in order to live longer. Here is why. You want everything for yourself so you can live. You want the most food, you want the most life, all of that stuff. But then you also don't want to have to take away from somebody because of what's stopping them from taking away from you. Because you could say, I want to steal. What's stopping somebody else from wanting to steal from you? So you say, I will not steal from you so long as you don't steal from me, and we will have somebody else enforce that. I just explained to you society. That's how society is formed. And that's how things happen. The reason why I say I generally think people are evil. They are just nice because it helps us function as a society. And I think that makes sense. But I'm curious to see if somebody could argue against that, because I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Now, is that to say that there's no good in the world? No. But I think people are genuinely, by base function, evil and self-centered. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I finished reading volume 25, 26, 27. Let's talk about this non-political manga. Oda is not a reliable source of information, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This started about yesterday. I passed out literally on my desk.
Every time I see a black notebook, I just think of Death Note. I automatically thought she had a Death Note.
I was exhausted. Crew, after becoming class 2 criminals, they get basically abducted from the ship that they were at by a sea monster. On the ship were Nami, Zoro, Robin, and Chopper. Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp stayed at the beach, so they didn't get...
Actually, I do have a question for you guys now. I have so many questions in this video. Do you see yourself becoming, realistically, do you see yourself becoming a revolutionary, a marine, a citizen, or a pirate in the world of One Piece? Realistically speaking. I think I see myself becoming an explorer, not necessarily a pirate, but if it takes being a pirate to be an explorer, sure. But I think I see myself becoming an explorer in the sense.
Abducted from there. Conus helped them get a boat to go after their friends, but turns out she was leading them to a trap, and then she confessed before they actually boarded the boat and became a criminal for aiding criminals. Is that familiar to you guys? It reminds me of a girl with a diary. So Nami and the crew get placed on this sacrificial temple. They're getting attacked by sea monsters, and they decide to leave the ship with little Chopper, who was so afraid, and go find Kami to talk with him. Because that's what you do with a god. You have a conversation. A god who's trying to kill you. Chopper is getting attacked by one of the vessels of Kami.
What else are you gonna do?
The ship is being wrecked, and thankfully Chopper has the whistler, so he whistles for the Sky Knight, and the Sky Knight comes to his aid, and in the process he gets injured. To Luffy and Sanji, Usopp, they choose the challenge of the ball, and they're getting attacked by one of Kami's vessels again. They get beat up by him a little bit, but then they overcome him because that's what our crew does, and then finally they reunite all together at the ship. Before anything really happened, you know how Conus helped the crew and became a criminal herself and put herself into danger? Sky actually takes her and her father to his home, and he lets them stay there. We also in that process know that the Night Sky used to be the old Kami of Skypiea. 6 years ago he was dethroned by the new Kami, Eneru, his name was Eneru. Anyways, he gets dethroned and he starts becoming this Sky Knight, helping people or people that are stray to not get caught and become criminals. And then we get introduced to an indigenous group of people living on a hidden cloud island called Shandorians. And the missing half of Jaya was in fact flung into the sky like I told you guys it would be. The crew reunited after a while. Something that happened between Chopper and Usopp really tugged at my heartstrings. Usopp really cares about the Merry-Go. We all know this. He has a relationship with the Merry-Go, unlike any other crew member, because it was like Kaya's property and she gave it away to them. He cared about Kaya, as you know, and so he always cares for the ship, repairs it as much as he can, looks for spare parts whenever he can. And we got this even in the beginning of Skypiea. He was like looking out for the ship all the time. And so when the mast of the ship gets broken while Choppy was being attacked by the vessel, he sees this and he's like devastated a little bit, but then he looks at Chopper and sees his injuries, like, did you treat yourself? Did you fix your injuries? Are you okay? And Chopper was like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't protect the ship, I tried my hardest, but it was like on fire. And then he like stops and says, oh, like, you're worried about me. And that exactly was my reaction. It was so sweet of Usopp, because you know how much he cares about the ship, but you see in that moment that he cares about Chopper just as much, if not more. And that just shows like how quickly they accept their new crewmates. And that applies to Robin as well. She seems so at ease with them and they like trust her, even sometimes to leave Chopper alone with her. In certain panels, Oda draws her to be so at peace. Like, she's just softly smiling, not a trace of worry in her face. It's strange to see, and I really hope, deep down in my heart, that she doesn't betray them in the future and actually becomes part of the group. The fragment of Jaya that was launched up to the sky has a way of rapidly growing compared to the piece that stayed on Earth on the Blue Sea. Because of the environment of Skypiea, I think, something in it makes everything, the trees, the animals, grow rapidly faster. After Nami drew a successfully map of Jaya and Skypiea together, they figure out that the gold that Nolan was talking about is still on Jaya. And so they're like, we need the treasure. We need money, and you know how Nami goes when there's mention of treasure or money. Same with Luffy, he just really wants an adventure. He wants to go on a blind adventure, and he's excited about it. They decide they're going to split in two teams. One will take the ship, the Merry-Go, and the rest will go on foot. And then we figure out that with Jaya, this indigenous group of people were flung up to the sky. And what do the sky people who cannot grow their own veggies and fruits and grains do? They steal their lands and kick them out of it.
As you should.
This is not political, by the way. Has nothing to do with indigenous groups being kicked out of their countries. Palestine. Nothing at all. with other people colonizing their resources, their land, making it their own. Not at all. This is not political. It's a children's story. Finally, at the end,
Why can't it be both?
But before
Why
that,
can't it be both? Why can't children? I think a lot of children's stories are political, aren't they? I think so.
our group gets separated by a snake.
Charlie Brown is political, and it's Charlie Brown.
And Zoro has to find his way on his own. It worries me because this man genuinely does not know his directions. Neither does Luffy. Neither does he. They're both... I don't want to insult them because I love them, but they are idiots. Robin has a really deep interest in history, in archaeology. She's really well knowledged in these topics, and she did mention it in Alabasta, but she really seems to be connecting really well with the group right now. It worries me a little bit, but I'm also happy about it. Excited. The next.
Well,
Hello, red-haired Mari.
I finished Marineford.
Ah. Damn. Have we ever seen her happy? Have we ever seen her? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go ahead and watch a review of Marineford.
I've been crying for 45 minutes now.
Oh, never mind. She's still crying.
Hold up.
Damn.
When I fucking catch you, I will be giving you every single one of my therapy bills for the first.
Damn. Damn.
I know I said I wasn't gonna read this today, but I can't wait. So
are you
let's
gonna
read
give us a review?
Marineford together. We'll see if we finish it today. I might do this in 2 parts.
Okay.
I've already started crying.
It's a read and
If you're new here and
vlog.
you're
No, I want to watch the
it
review.
feels like I'm reading Endgame. Each arc was a separate movie, and now we're at Endgame, and this is fucking insane. Ors Jr. Ors Jr. is friends with Ace. Honestly, I truly think that he is the one that I'm going to hate the most.
Okay, so the sound cut off. I thought it
But
was
holy
me.
shit,
I thought
White
that's
Beard's
something I did.
pirates
Okay, no,
are
she says right here that
so
the sound
fucking
cut off.
strong. This is insane.
Alright. Yeah, because you see right there, the sound cut off.
I'm trying to keep it together. Crocodile, of course, trying to fucking get at Whitebeard. Luffy kicking him was not on my bingo card. Let's fucking go. He's being so proud of his little brother. Look, Pops, this is my little brother showing the wanted poster. Oh my god, this panel of Whitebeard and Luffy arguing with him. Luffy has guts. He's screaming, "Don't come up here, Luffy." Stop trying to hurt Luffy right now.
Damn.
I understand it, but fuck. I'm your little brother. I don't care about your pirate rules. I'm gonna save you, even if it kills me. Jinbei, you fucking icon. Oh my gosh, she's using the Kuja Haki. Do still hate this stupid trope, but if it gets her to save Luffy. Kuma's dead. The real Kuma's dead? What? What? Is a fully weaponized human. Is this because he let the Straw Hats go? Oh, Crocodile, don't piss me off. This isn't the time. Have your fight with Whitebeard at a different time. His hand? Oh no. Was it cut off? Not his powers or techniques. He possesses some quality that makes people want to help him. And in these waters, that is the most formidable power of all. There's a fuck ton of Kumas. What the fuck? We just got pushed back. Why did Squard just stab Whitebeard? I don't think Whitebeard would have sold people out. I know how much you hate Gold Roger, but it's wrong to condemn a child for the sins of his father. What did Ace ever do to you? Be good to each other. Ace isn't the only one who's special to me. Holy shit, Whitebeard. Moby Dick. I'm about to cry for a pirate ship again. Where's his up? I know that I'm getting so close to it.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Ace is the only brother I have in the entire world. I hate Garp.
That's another thing, huh?
Would it have been better if I was there? For Garp to see his grandson sobbing because he's about to die and not do anything. Thank you, Paul. Oh my god, Whitebeard is getting destroyed. Luffy is talking to stop them. He is trying so hard.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting like memories of this. Garp, man.
Oh, let's fucking go, Crocodile. Come on.
Fuck the TikTok. Get on the game.
No. I know I said I
Who was that? Who was that? Who? And I'm guessing they were trying to get you to get on Marvel Rivals. I wonder who you mean. Okay,
Part
this is
two
part
of
two.
my Marineford reading book.
Okay.
Luffy's so close. He's so close.
Yeah, very close.
Garp, you stupid piece of shit.
Why? Ah!
He's free. You never do as I tell you.
Knowing what we know now, it makes a little more sense, right? As to the whole situation with Garp. But damn, man.
Get yourself in big trouble.
There's still no excuse, you know?
I'm so happy. I'm trying not to read the chapter titles because this should be spoiling. Oh my god, they look so good. I love this. Oh, Luffy. He's my brother. I'd appreciate it if you didn't hurt him. Whitebeard is such a good captain. What the fuck? It's time for us to part ways. We must all survive and return to the world. Literally, I'm not reading these chapter titles. I don't fucking trust Oda. Were you happy with me as your father?
Reading it in hindsight, because like we know Ace's dad is, you know, like some people who are watching this might not know, right? We know who Ace's dad is, and we know the type of relationship Whitebeard had with Ace's dad, even at a specific valley. And like Whitebeard used to be this. I don't care about you. Leave me alone. Whatever. I'll just pay my debt to you and stuff. Like now seeing this, like just wow, man. This is like, man. I'm sorry. This is wow. One Piece is a story for sure.
No way. No way.
Yeah. 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 I'm sorry. I'm really sorry you had to look through this part.
No. Sorry you didn't get to see it.
It's okay. Just go through it. It's okay.
Spent his whole life being hated. All I wanted was to know whether or not I should have been born.
Ace was and will always be a great man. And his memories will live on forever. Porque the Ace.
To protect him for Ace. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Blackbeard, you need to die. You need to die. I can't do this right now. I can't. I can't. I can't even continue reading, man. He just wanted to. Of course, Ace was already asking Jinbei to take care of Luffy. Finally confirmed that Blackbeard captured Ace. I fucking hate you. Kobe. Kobe has the same power as that one little girl in Skypiea. This is Shanks. Shanks to save Kobe. You could have shown up a little earlier, Shanks.
Yeah.
No.
If he was just a little bit earlier. Yeah. Yeah. He was stalled though. Like, it's just the pieces that went into play for the events of Marineford to happen, man. When you find out why Shanks was slightly late. When you find out why Shanks has so much influence. When you find out about Blackbeard. When you find out about Whitebeard and Roger. It's just, oh my gosh. The pieces that had to go into play for Marineford to happen, man. And then with Garp. And then with Ace. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, so this right here is Abby. She should be the person we're interviewing today. I will go ahead and find out where she is at. I'm going to read One Piece for the first time. Okay. By the way, this is Jen. One Piece fandom.
Hey, One Piece crew. I have finished the Logtown arc, chapters 96 through 100, volumes 11 through 12.
Dang.
Let's dive in.
2 volumes? Okay, Jen. I see you. Sheesh. She out here just reading it, huh? What was that facial expression I just made? Hey, everybody, ignore that.
It was a really fun arc, but I think that we continue to see Oda build these layers for the story that we're going to read in the future.
Okay.
We also continue to see these really deep themes regarding fascism in this arc. We start this arc off with these...
Logtown. Logtown has fascism? It does? Am I boosted? Maybe she will explain.
Beautiful panels of the Marine HQ. It looks serene, peaceful, orderly, but in reality, these are the people that are fueling chaos in villages. The contrast is intentional, beauty as propaganda, order as costume. What was really striking to me was when we moved into the panels after we look at the Marine headquarters, and we see these visuals of these 3 men. They are shadowed, they all say the same things, their words are very robotic, and it's this loss of individuality. And then you see the contrast of the man that is at the podium. He is expressive, he is loud, but the men beneath him are obedient and quiet. Everything that these leaders are saying in these panels are basically indoctrination of these people. Pirates are evil. Citizens are pawns. They're collateral, and they're also blamable victims. We start this arc off super serious, but then Oda does a really good job of providing us with some levity. Shanks is back, and he finds out that Luffy is alive and he is chasing his dream, and they celebrate that. So there's still some levity in this world of chaos.
She said the word again, levity.
That we're living in. Next, I want to dig into this panel of the execution, which I found really interesting. Two things. Is there divine intervention that's happening for Luffy? Like, the fact that that lightning storm just came and broke the scaffolding and he was able to get away. They weren't able to burn down the ship. Who is this mysterious person that shows up in this arc as well? I have to put those in my notebook of theories because something is going on there, and I think the world is looking out for Luffy. But
Wow. Divine intervention.
But I don't know.
I actually do have a question for you guys who are watching this. Do you guys believe in divine intervention? I do.
In that same panel, I want to talk about the reactions of the people in the crowd. If you look closely, there's people that have despair, they're in disbelief, there's sadness, and there's shock. All of that after Luffy says, I want to be king of the pirates. It's almost like there's still a little bit of hope out there. This guy even calls Luffy a dreamer. I guess it's more of a commentary on my behalf that I noticed these different reactions for a pirate. And lastly, I have some questions and some uncertainties. Lady Alvida was a really big surprise, but the biggest surprise that I have regarding her is, where did she get this fruit? Where are the fruits coming from? Because now there are multiple people in our storyline that have powers.
Right.
How many more people are going to have powers that we're going to run into in the story? Lastly, this sergeant that looked like Zoro's friend. Honestly, I thought I was going crazy because I thought it was Zoro's friend. And I was like, did she even actually die? So that was a little bit of unsettling because of how similar those two characters are.
Okay.
Gonna have to write that one down in my book because I just feel like there's something going on there with that character. And we have these last two panels where they're all talking about the dreams that they want to achieve. They put their foot on the barrel.
Bro, why is Astrophil? I'm busy recording a video. Hey, he's supposedly my manager.
And I think it just talks to this theme that I'm seeing. People power, community. When they work together, there's nothing that they can't achieve. I think that that is one of the biggest themes that we see in One Piece. That's all I got. Thanks for hanging out.
Ooh, Jen, I gotta know more. Jen. Oh my gosh, Jen, this is good. This is good. You gotta keep reading. Ooh, I gotta know more. I like Jen's way of summarizing things and like the way she shows the panels and whatnot. You're really good at this, Jen. And that's all we're going to be showing for today, guys. Again, thank you guys so much. And that'll be all for today, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video.